Before this video starts, be sure that you are subscribed to my channel, like and leave your comment under my video. This simple manipulation will help me promote my work to the top, and therefore more people will be able to see my content. Thank you. Okay, let's begin.
Hi guys, my name is Nick, and welcome to a new video here on my painting tutorial channel. And today you are gonna learn how to paint like a pro. Today's video is about male anatomy, so I don't think I've got to explain all that much, right? Just a heads up, I'm thankful for everyone who likes and subscribes since my tutorial channel is still pretty small, and I would be grateful for everyone who helps and support me. In the right corner on the worksheet you can notice the marking of 7 ovals in the form of conditional heads resembling a human head in shape. I made this markup specifically so that you can analyze that often human proportions, according to the canon, consist of just 7 heads, sometimes 8 if the person is tall. Memo for you, on average the human body is size consists of conditional 7, occasionally 8 heads. So let's move on. We start with the head. Try to sketch the character with simple geometric shapes. The head is in the form of an oval, the neck is a cylinder, trapezoids are triangles, shoulders in the form of circles. I also outlined the elbow and wrist joints in the form of round shapes, biceps and forearms through tapered shapes. The idea is that the human body must be built from the most primitive forms. You may also notice that the chest is at the level of the elbow joints. This is very important to know. Otherwise, if you do not correct compose at the beginning of character building, then your character will be disproportionate and it will be difficult to fix it. Also, don't forget that the length of the body from head to groin is equal to the length of the legs. Sometimes in humans the legs can be longer than the body, sometimes the body is longer than the legs, but the difference won't be big. In my concept the legs are slightly longer than the body. This is not a mistake, I left it as is. I am correcting the shape of the trapezium and clarifying the shape of the forearms. Also don't forget that I'm creating the character in a 3/4 position. There will be a slight reduction in perspective on the left side of the character. You also need to understand that there are no straight lines on the human body. If you are building a human figure, then the contours should remind you of the letter S. If you understand this principle, then the outline of your character will look more voluminous than just straight lines. I continue to draw the body in detail. I refine some contours and details. I correct the feet, the contours of the legs and the lines of the abdomen. Also, don't forget to outline the middle line separating the right and left parts of the body. And so I smoothly move from sketch to line art. Again, I start with the head. I do not need at this stage to show how to build the right face in a 3/4 perspective. Therefore, I sketch out the basic of building a head. Cheekbones weight part, I give light marking of the eyes. I divide in line for the right and left part of the head. I form the contour of the right cheekbone and of course the chin. I mark the position of the ear. Since I have already built the body anatomically, I can only refine the shape with a line. I sketch out the neck and trapeze, moved on to the shoulders and pectoral muscles. Do not forget that it is better to conduct the workflow from top to bottom, so it is easier for you to understand where mistakes were made during the initial construction of the body. Since I'm working on the hands and they will be bent into fists, we will not need to draw the fingers much. We will create the fists and the muscle that is responsible for the work of our thumb finger. I draw it out the contour of the biceps and move on to the study of the lats muscle and the diaphragm of the chest. Personally, I like to draw the latissimus muscles. It reminds me of a flying squirrel. No? You don't think so? Oh, and of course I forgot that we also have a left hand. We draw it in the same way as the right one. Only from this position the inner part of the arm will be visible more. Our biceps consist of 2 muscle bundles, the inner and the outer part of the muscle, therefore it is called the biceps muscle. The chest muscle are already done. I just added a hint of a future shadow, as if showing that the chest has a plane upper and lower. In the process of drawing, the lower part will be highlighted with a shadow. This will give the volume. I made a little mistake in the perspective of the right shoulder and decided to correct it. Reduced shoulder. I also did not really like how I outlined the left shoulder. Thus, I corrected this since the end of the collarbone should be directed higher than the beginning. Well, let's move on to drawing the belly. In fact, there are many options for how to draw the belly. There are conditionally 3 body types: ectomorph, endomorph and mesomorph. What body type are you? Leave your comment below this video. But all this is conditional. In fact, we can rarely meet a true mesomorph or ectomorph. It will usually always be a mix, since our body is regulated by hormones and metabolism. Well, I'm talking about biology. In short, I mapped out the stomach without the intense six-pack abs, highlighted the groin area, sketched with lines how the knees will look. I drew the internal oblique muscles and the transverse muscles, corrected the pubic bone and the central line of the abdomen, corrected the right triceps and shoulder. Moved on to drawing the legs. Since our character resembles the body of a character from a comic book and their superheroes are often bodybuilders, I selected the lateral and medial muscles for him. They will give us a visual volume. I also started drawing the calf muscles, which are located in our lower legs. I do the same with the left foot. I note that near the heel there is a bone called tarsus. We need to sketch since the foot is attached to the tibia and fibula, the end of which, due to the tendons, help to rotate our foot. The same concept with the right leg. I added the tibia and drew the calf muscle. We, as it were, fasten the fibula and tibia with the foot. I also mark the toes. Naturally, we keep in mind that we have 5 of them. In my case, I missed and had to adjust my foot a bit to get the 5 toes to fit correctly. If you notice, I don't attach importance to every toe on my left foot. I drew the foot and big toe, while all subsequent toes I didn't touch much, left the shape in the form of a mitten. Sometimes it is useful to simplify the drawing. It is not always necessary to draw all the details, depending of course what you want from your work. I reduced the left foot a little, because I thought it was a little out of perspective and it seems more than it should be. I also corrected the muscles of the legs and tendons near the knees. I don't really like how I drew the biceps of the right hand, or rather it looks too thin for this size of the chest. The left hand also looks more solid in volume than the right one. Okay, I'm getting closer to the final and finalizing our character in detail. In general, the picture is already emerging and we can say that I like the construction of the character at this stage. I hope this lesson was helpful to you. I would like to read constructive comments from you and maybe wishes. What would you like to see in the next series? Maybe I should continue to draw this character in color in the next video. Let me know. Subscribe to my channel, as video editing takes a lot of time. I do this for you for free. Always be grateful for the free information.